Hello and welcome back to the Gluten Free RN podcast. I'm Nadine the Gluten Free RN. Today during episode 55, I am going to share with you some of my hopes and wishes for celiac disease in the new year of 2018. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome back to episode 55 of the Gluten Free RN podcast. Today, I am going to discuss some hopes and wishes for the new year of 2018 in regards to celiac disease and non-celiac gluten sensitivity. But first off, I'd like to thank you very much for tuning in for the first year and the first 54 episodes of the Gluten Free RN podcast. And this is a reminder to please leave a rating and a review on iTunes or wherever you listen to the Gluten Free RN podcast. It gives me great information as to what you find interesting, helpful, and for ideas on future episodes of the Gluten Free RN podcast. Please also invite your friends, family, and support groups to listen to the Gluten Free RN podcast. The more the merrier, and the quicker people can get information that is helpful for them. So today, I'm going to try to stick with 10 with a bonus 11 hopes and wishes for 2018 in regards to celiac disease and gluten sensitivity or non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Number 1, I would like to wish you all health, happiness, wellness for you, your family, and your friends. As we all recognize that there are a lot of things going on in our world that we really have no control over, that are out of our hands, but we do have some control over what we eat, how we feel, how much we sleep, and very important aspects of our health and well-being. We're all going to reevaluate how our health is affected by what we do, what we eat, how we play, how much we get outside and breathe fresh air, and our activities. Look at your activities, look at your life, look at the food you eat, reevaluate it. It's always a good idea to change things up. So this month, Pete and I are once again giving up sugar and alcohol and eating closer to home, fixing more of our meals, not that we don't already, but we're also just stepping back, looking at our health, and trying to be that much more healthy as we go forward into this new year. Number 2 is a biggie. And as a nurse, I've been working for this for a long time, but I wish that everybody has single-payer, universal health care for everyone. And I know that some of the people out there worldwide already have access to universal health care that's paid for by the government, and they have access to health care. We in the United States do not have that luxury. Not everybody has health care. This is a nonpartisan issue. It affects everyone. And as a nurse, as a mother, as a person that is fiscally aware, which means I'm aware of money and how it impacts our lives, I think that everyone in this entire world should have access to high quality healthcare. And access to healthcare should mean that you can go to the doctor or your healthcare provider and see them in a timely manner and not have to worry that you're going to be bankrupt or your family is going to be left with large debt because you got sick and your insurance, if you had it, did not pay for it. I mean, there's so many factors. It's so complicated. Health insurance companies know that health insurance as it is going to go away. It's just a matter of time, but we really do have to step up our game and make sure that everybody is covered before birth, or as some people like to say, from cradle to grave, so that people have high quality health care. High quality health care should be available to every citizen, whether they have a job or not, whether they're ill or not. People should not have to continue to work to maintain health insurance, even when they have cancer or terminal illness. It's incredibly horrifying what does happen to people. So I'd like to see that change. And if it changes in 2018, that would be incredible. So I would love, once again, number 2, for everyone to have access to high quality health care that does not cause them financial strain or cause them to become bankrupt. So number 3 would be better comprehensive testing for celiac disease and non-celiac gluten sensitivity, which means that number 1, we would have better testing, and number 2, our healthcare providers would be educated about celiac disease enough to know that they shouldn't be afraid to test for celiac disease because they know how to interpret the test results, and they always have celiac disease on the differential diagnosis, regardless of what you show up with as far as symptoms and signs in your health, or sometimes for some people, just the family history of celiac disease because it is genetic. So I would like the doctors to be aware and not afraid to order testing for celiac disease because they're very well aware of how to interpret the lab results and what to do with those lab results when they come back positive. And if they do happen to come back negative, to know that that person is not ruled out from celiac disease, but that those lab tests can change at any time. Number 4 is I would like every healthcare provider, everyone in the United States, everyone worldwide to be extremely knowledgeable about celiac disease and non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Celiac disease is an epidemic that has not been diagnosed correctly for over 70 years. So there are a multitude of people that are undiagnosed. And until we do a mass screening, which I've been calling for I think 11 years now, ever since I started this, until we do that mass screening, we truly do not know the prevalence and incidence of celiac disease. But I really would like that information. So that would be one of my wishes for 2018 is to do that mass screening for celiac disease. Get it over with, start it out. And if you run a practice or you have patients that you work with, or you have any opportunities to suggest that people get tested, please do so. Do a mini mass screening of all of your patients or your family. Find out the genetic status for celiac disease if you're an HLA DQ2 and or DQ8 gene carrier. That is valuable information, not just for your health today, but for your health in the future and for future generations' health. Number 5 would be more accurate media coverage and stories about celiac disease that aren't influenced by sponsors, advertisers, pharmaceuticals, or any other corporation. I would like there to be very accurate information that is accessible to everyone about the realities of celiac disease and how to manage it so that it does not rule your life and so that people can actually go out and eat safely without concern or worry about getting contaminated by gluten. And that is from our family and our friends too, because there are a lot of products that are labeled gluten-free, but in reality, they're not gluten-free. So we all have to be super vigilant and super aware. I would like it to be easier for all of us to eat with our family and our friends, whether it's at home or in a restaurant, without that worry. Number 6, I would like family and friends to get tested every year because they understand the importance of early diagnosis of celiac disease or non-celiac gluten sensitivity. I don't want that to be hard. I want it to be easy, and I want everybody that does get diagnosed with celiac disease to have an honest conversation with their family and their friends in a very helpful, hopeful way, so that they understand that this impacts their short-term and long-term health, and again, future generations. I think if we throw in that future generations part about celiac disease affecting not just our generation and not just our grandkids, but future generations way into the future, that people that we'll never meet, But if we can get this information out now, those people will be impacted, our future generations, hopefully in a positive way, and they'll be much healthier as opposed to being less healthy. And even if people test negative for celiac disease proper, but they are gene carriers, I would like them to have the support to go gluten-free and or paleo because they understand that changing your diet is preventative for celiac disease and all of the signs and symptoms that go along with that. It's preventative, hopefully, for other autoimmune diseases, other issues related to health, cardiac issues, which is your heart health, lung health, literally every other organ in your body, including your brain. And it is important that people understand that celiac disease is primarily neurologic. It's not primarily gastrointestinal, although many people have gastrointestinal symptoms. Many more people have symptoms of migraine headaches, seizure disorders, tremors, misdiagnoses of MS or ALS, Parkinson's disease. So there's lots of opportunity for people that already have diagnoses to get tested, and lots of reasons for that to happen. So in review, I'd like number 6 to be that family and friends do get tested and also educated to the point that they can be ruled in for celiac disease, but at this point in history, they can't be ruled out for celiac disease and or non-celiac gluten sensitivity. And really, honestly, there is no danger to a gluten-free diet. That is so untrue, and I really wish the media and people that know better, I really wish they would stop saying that, because there is no danger or no downside to going gluten-free. So if you have any questions about that, read my book called Donation, a nurse's memoir of celiac disease from missed diagnosis to food and health activism. I talk about that in depth in the book. And if you do read the book, here's another opportunity to leave a rating and a review, hopefully on Amazon or wherever you purchase the book. And thank you to all of those that have already read the book and left a review on Amazon. Number 7 would be a wish for nutritional information that is not influenced by corporations, namely any food corporation. Netflix is soon to be airing a documentary on food. It's called Rotten, and it is 6 episodes, this documentary that's going to be aired very soon. It looks really interesting, and I just found out about it today. Don't be afraid to watch it. It is about food. When I first started this, I noticed that more people were afraid to watch any shows about food and where food comes from. They'd much rather watch scary movies or horror movies than anything to do with their food. But it is extremely important that we are educated about where our food comes from and how it's manufactured, how it's processed, how much it travels, and some of the issues related to food if it's not processed correctly. So when I first started this, as I've mentioned before, I ate like a typical American. I ate out, I ate pizza, drank beer. Every once in a while, I would have fast food, very rarely. And I ate the typical American diet, and I paid the price for that. So now I eat much more of a paleo diet. Whole foods. I know where my food comes from. I am very familiar with my farmers locally, and most of my food is organic. I really strive for organic, local, fresh food that is minimally processed or processed by me in the kitchen, and that's what we eat. And one thing I'd like you to remember, there's a huge difference in animals raised humanely on a farm, grass-fed, no antibiotics, no hormones, compared to animals that are factory-raised. There's a huge difference. So unfortunately, the backlash from the factory farms is that people are going vegan or vegetarian. And again, unfortunately, I think that we're going to see the health backlash from that vegan and vegetarianism in the form of other health issues. Our bodies actually, for the most part, need those saturated fats, animal proteins that we can only get from meat and fish and eggs. So try to keep that in mind as you're watching these shows. I don't purchase any animals that have been raised that way. The only way to change how things are happening in our food supply is to make sure that our local farmers are getting the information and producing meat that is grass-fed, no antibiotics, no hormones, and really high quality. So I am thankful once again to all my local farmers and farm families that are producing and providing all of this great food that we eat in this household. Number 8, I would like everyone to have access to that high quality, organic, minimally processed, local, if possible, food. And I do mean real food, fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, meat, fish, and eggs. I do understand that not everybody lives in an area where that will be possible or easily accessible, but this is my wish list for 2018. I hope that it does become easier and that you do have more access to high quality, organic, locally grown, minimally processed food that is real. Food that hasn't been on the shelves for years or in storage somewhere and they pull it out to put it on the shelves. I want you to recognize what real food is and really start to appreciate that what you put in your body is both fuel for today and also building blocks for your body to repair itself and to heal. So please do get in touch with high quality organic food that is minimally processed so that your body can heal. And if you're really interested, it is the beginning of the year, you can look at doing a Whole30 or some type of program that gets you back into touch with what real food is. Number 9 would be appropriate follow-up care for all patients diagnosed with celiac disease or non-celiac gluten sensitivity. I really hope that healthcare providers this year start to realize that people that are diagnosed with celiac disease need some serious follow-up care. It's not just about telling people to go to the internet to find out what to eat and how to be on a gluten-free diet. It's to make sure that people actually have labs that are appropriate, to make sure that they are nutritionally not deficient in things like zinc, B6, B12, iodine, that their thyroid is working appropriately, that they don't have osteoporosis, because all of these things are fixable if they're caught in time. But we have to know what we need to work on. So I'm hoping that everybody has access to a good list of follow-up labs, and I will post my recommended list of follow-up labs on this episode so that everybody has access to it. And you're more than welcome to print that off and take it into your healthcare provider to make sure that all of your needs are being met as far as labs and tests that need to be done on you once you are diagnosed with celiac disease. And I also include the testing I like that would help you get diagnosed with celiac disease proper. Number 10 would be education, education, education. Not just for myself, but for you too. So reach out, look on the internet, try to find programs that are going to be helpful for you, and think about everything that is said with a critical ear. Really listen, and then really think about the information that you're being given. Is it all accurate? Does it apply to you? Most of the information we get is a piece of the puzzle. How do you put that together? How does it fit? When I go to conferences, I pay very close attention. I take notes and I learn. So this year, already on the books, I'm going to Columbia University Celiac Disease Center. They are once again having another non-dietary treatment plan for celiac disease conference. And I go for many reasons. It's not because I'm interested in a non-dietary treatment plan for celiac disease, but I do want to talk to people. I do want to connect with people that are experts in celiac disease other than myself. I want my brain expanded. I want my thoughts expanded. And I want my knowledge base expanded. I will also be going to Paleo FX in Austin, Texas. Those are my people. I really love to go there and listen to all of the very brilliant minds talk about movement and sleep and food and the qualities of fat and how a ketogenic might be helpful for some people or a low carbohydrate, high fat diet. All of the cutting edge current information. That's what I want so that I can bring it to you, either through the podcast or consultations, and for the new book we're writing, which I'm very excited about. Hopefully it'll be out this year. Number 11 is the bonus, which is all of my hopes and wishes for you for this coming year in 2018. I hope that you have fun and that you're able to travel, that you have excellent health, that you're able to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night so that your body can heal and stay regenerated and rejuvenated. I also hope that you find supportive friends or a support group and that your family actually is supportive and helpful also. Please remember there's never one celiac disease in a family. There's never just one. I hope you get to go on hikes in nature, look up at the sky, be out in the sunlight to synthesize vitamin D. I also hope that you get to eat more home-cooked meals. Take a cooking class. Learn from the experts. Make the effort to go learn how to cook gluten-free or paleo. Get a good cookbook. There's several new ones out this year that are amazing. So those cookbooks are extremely good, useful tools that are relatively inexpensive that will help you recognize what real food is and how to prepare it. Again, learning. Learn about everything that will impact your health. Be educated. Now that you're awake, now that you have your brain back because you're gluten-free, you're going to be amazed at how much information is out there and how much we really do have to relearn what we thought we knew. So start learning today. Well, that's my 11 hopes and wishes for 2018 for myself and for you. I hope you've found this extremely helpful. And if you have, please leave a rating or a review on Amazon or iTunes or wherever you listen to this particular podcast and share it with people. Tell people that it's really great information and that it's helpful for you to be healthy again. Spread the word. Let people know that it's available and it's free information. So that wraps up episode 55 of the Gluten Free RN podcast. I'm Nadine Griskoyak, the Gluten Free RN. Future episodes will include celiac disease and the thyroid, celiac disease and the hepatitis B vaccine, and many, many more. Please join me, Nadine Griskoyak, the Gluten Free RN, for future episodes of the Gluten Free RN podcast. Thanks again for joining me, and until next episode, healthy eating. Bye.